History often celebrates civilizations for what they built. Monuments, cities, and cultures that shaped the world. But behind the glory are moments when entire peoples stood on the edge of extinction. Wars, plagues, invasions, and natural disasters nearly wiped them from existence. Some recovered, some vanished, and some survive today as only whispers in ruins and records. Stay with us, because number one isn't just history. It's a chilling warning that our own civilization could face a similar fate. Welcome back to Deca Facts. Here are 10 historical events that almost erased a civilization. 10. The fall of the Mayan cities, 9th century. The Maya built incredible cities like Tikal and Copan, with pyramids, advanced astronomy, and complex writing. But around the 9th century, something went terribly wrong. Cities were abandoned, populations declined, and the jungle swallowed their once great civilization. Scholars believe prolonged drought, combined with over-farming and constant warfare, triggered the collapse. While the Maya people survived, their golden age ended abruptly, and their civilization was nearly erased from history until rediscovered centuries later. 9. The Black Death in Europe, 14th century. Between 1347 and 1351, the bubonic plague swept across Europe. Carried by fleas on rats, the disease spread with terrifying speed, killing an estimated 25 to 50 million people, about 1/3 of Europe's population. Entire villages vanished. Fields lay empty. Families were destroyed. In some regions, mortality rates were so high that people believed society itself would not survive. Europe eventually recovered, but the Black Death reshaped religion, labor, and politics forever, showing just how fragile even large civilizations can be. 8. The destruction of Carthage, 146 BCE. Carthage was Rome's greatest rival, controlling trade and commanding naval power across the Mediterranean. After years of bitter conflict, Rome decided Carthage had to be destroyed once and for all. In the Third Punic War, Roman armies besieged the city for 3 years before finally breaching its walls. They burned Carthage to the ground, slaughtered or enslaved its people, and symbolically declared it would never rise again. An entire civilization, its culture, its libraries, its power was almost completely erased in a single political decision. 7. The Mongol invasions, 13th century. The Mongols under Genghis Khan and his successors unleashed one of the most destructive campaigns in history. Cities like Baghdad, once centers of science and learning, were reduced to ash. When the Mongols sacked Baghdad in 1258, they killed hundreds of thousands and destroyed the House of Wisdom, a library of priceless knowledge. For many regions, from China to Eastern Europe, Mongol invasions brought devastation so great that entire cultures nearly collapsed. Yet paradoxically, they also created trade routes that linked civilizations together. It's a reminder of how conquest can both destroy and reshape the world. 6. The Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire, 1519 to 1521. When Hernán Cortés arrived in Mexico, the Aztec Empire was at its peak, ruling millions from its capital, Tenochtitlan. But alliances with rival tribes, superior weapons, and devastating smallpox outbreaks helped the Spanish conquer the empire in just 2 years. The city of Tenochtitlan was razed, its temples destroyed, and its culture forcibly replaced by European rule. Millions of Aztecs died, not only from war, but from diseases to which they had no immunity. What was once a thriving empire was nearly erased, with only fragments of Aztec culture surviving today. If you're finding this countdown eye-opening, hit that like button. It helps DecaFacts bring more history to curious minds like you. And if you love exploring the rise and fall of civilizations, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly deep dives. 5. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius, 79 CE. The Roman cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum thrived on the Bay of Naples until disaster struck. Mount Vesuvius erupted with incredible force, burying both cities under volcanic ash and rock. Thousands perished instantly, and entire communities were entombed, frozen in time. While Rome as a whole survived, for these cities, it was the end of civilization. Their erasure was so complete that their existence was forgotten until rediscovered nearly 1,700 years later, preserved as haunting reminders of nature's destructive power. 4. The Great Famine in Ireland, 1845 to 1852. Ireland's population depended heavily on potatoes as their main food source. When potato blight struck in 1845, crops failed year after year. Over 1 million people starved to death, and another million fled as refugees, many to America. The famine nearly erased Irish society at home. By 1850, Ireland's population had dropped by 25%. Villages emptied, traditions were lost, and the trauma still echoes today. Though the Irish people endured, the famine forever reshaped their nation and diaspora. 3. The fall of the Khmer Empire, 15th century. Centered at Angkor in modern Cambodia, the Khmer Empire built some of the most stunning temples in history, including Angkor Wat. But by the 15th century, the empire collapsed. Historians believe a combination of climate change, overextension, and invasions from neighboring kingdoms drained the empire's strength. Angkor was abandoned, and the jungle reclaimed its monuments. What was once one of the world's most advanced civilizations teetered on the brink of erasure, leaving behind ruins that still inspire awe today. 2. The near extinction of Native American tribes, 16th and 19th centuries. From the arrival of Europeans onward, Native American civilizations faced disease, war, and displacement. Smallpox epidemics killed up to 90% of some populations, wiping out entire tribes. Wars and forced removals, such as the Trail of Tears, destroyed communities and erased traditional ways of life. By the 19th century, many native cultures were on the edge of extinction. While survivors preserved traditions against the odds, the devastation remains one of the greatest cultural losses in history. 1. The near collapse of humanity itself. The Toba catastrophe, around 74,000 years ago. At the very top of our list is not just a civilization, but possibly the human race itself. Around 74,000 years ago, Mount Toba in Indonesia erupted in one of the largest volcanic explosions in history. The eruption spewed so much ash into the atmosphere that it caused a global volcanic winter. Temperatures plummeted, crops failed, and some scientists believe the human population was reduced to as few as a few thousand breeding individuals. Humanity came dangerously close to extinction. And if true, every civilization that followed, from Egypt to modern nations, exists only because our ancestors survived this single catastrophe. From volcanoes and famines to wars and plagues, civilizations have always stood on the edge of survival. Some recovered, others were lost forever, and one nearly took all of humanity with it. Which of these events shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear your take. And if you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to DecaFacts for more journeys into the epic rise and fall of civilizations. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next countdown.